Hey, and welcome to Hank's True Barbecue. So I'm back with another episode of Hank's Hotbox. Today I'm gonna test it in kettle mode. Now to test it in kettle mode, I'm gonna plug in my FireBoard thermometer to keep check on temps. I'm gonna use the Pit Viper fan. And inside here I'm gonna use the Slow N Sear because I really wanna test it out, see how long can it run using the controller, but also the Slow N Sear with briquettes and keep a steady temp. So I'm aiming for 120 Celsius. I want to see how far we can go, how many hours before temp starts dipping. So as I mentioned in the previous video, I can run this in 3 different modes or as 3 different types of grills, and today we're going to test it in kettle mode. Now looking inside, opening both doors, you can see I put the Slow N Sear in here. So why do I use that instead of just putting the charcoal directly on the bricks right here? Well, actually because I had quite a few of those lying around because I used them for teaching barbecue, but I no longer give classes, but I still have a bunch of Slow N Sears left, which is a nice thing to have. So I figured I could just fabricate a simple cradle, place this right in here, and Bob's your uncle. Or I could fabricate my own, but again, I had it lying around, so let's test it out. So one concern I do have, or I think it's going to be okay, but let's test it out, is whether I can hold temps in a larger kettle. I mean, looking at this, its volume of air inside it's quite a bit bigger than a regular kettle, but again, I don't think it should be an issue. And we're running with the fan and the FireBoard thermometer, so potentially I'll use some more briquettes than a normal kettle, but still should be able to hold temps pretty steadily. But I'm just going to load it up or fire it up. I'll set the temp in FireBoard to 120 and let it run and see for how long that takes us. So I'm going to leave the top vent fully open, the bottom door is fully closed, and of course I'm going to use the fan to regulate temp. But until it comes up to like 110 or so, I'm going to leave this fully open and then I'll close it just a bit too much and let the fan do the thing and monitor temps. So we're all set, FireBoard is hooked up, fan is hooked up, just waiting for it to hit the target temp, 120 Celsius, and then we'll just let it rip. I'll walk away, check in a few hours and see where we are at. It's going to be interesting. So it's taking a bit longer than I expected to get it up to temp. I guess the whole thing about being the volume inside the grill being quite a bit larger than a regular kettle does prove to be true. So fan is working full time now. What would I have done differently to get it up to speed quicker? Most likely, instead of lighting the normal 10 briquettes and dumping at the end of the Slow N Sear, I would actually dump 15 or 20 in there. But it's tugging along, we're getting up to temp slowly. I'll just let the fan do its job, and once we hit 120, I'll start monitoring. But this typically also means that I can't do an average 7-hour cook, most likely 4 hours, but we'll see at the end of the day how far I did get on that load of briquettes and holding the same temp. So we did get up to temp finally. After I hit 120, it hit 125, and I was a bit slow to react, so I didn't turn down the top vent in time. You figured I should have known this by now, but oh well, guess I'm still in vacation mode. But we're humming along nicely at 130, so I'll just leave it there and see how far it takes us. So what does these two thermometers differ from the FireBoard one? Well, actually these are located right above the fire, so of course, as in any grill, they're not going to give you the perfect reading if they're located right above the fire. And I put the FireBoard thermometer probe right here where the food is. That's where you always should measure temps, so that one's correct reading. So we've just dipped below 120, as you can see. So time to abort the test. So far so good though. Let's take a quick peek inside. Oh, that's pretty good. Some charcoal left, but not fully done. The fan is working now to bring temp back up, but I'm gonna cancel it right now. I think it was still a good run. So this was a good test. As always, get to know your cooker. I did a dry run exactly to figure out how it behaves, why it does a certain way, and how I need to modify the vents. I always recommend it at least doing it once on a new cooker, and this is a new cooker, so I'm still learning it, seeing how it works. Anyhow, good fun to see that I could get a good plus 5 hours out of this one. Would I do things differently next time? I think I'd start with more lit briquettes to begin with. Except for that, it was really hunky-dory. I think the Slow N Sear inside is really good in this case. And always, as I said before, I had it was just ready to just plug it into the grill and keep going. So all in all, good fun, some learnings. Thanks for watching. See you guys next episode.